Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to read our scope and sequence. So as you can see, you go to our school website, and I will zoom in on this. That is stadalbertschool.net. And when you come in, you're going to use your mouse to go to the Distance Learning tab. On the Distance Learning tab, you can see that there are all of the teachers for all of the subjects are listed. So what you want to do is you just want to find your teacher. So let's go to, for example, Mrs. Cricken, who is 5A. For Mrs. Cricken, and again, this will be any teacher right now in grades 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're going to go to her link. This is the first one is her teacher schedule. The next is the student schedule. The next after that are all of the courses that she teaches, and any teacher will have the same thing. And you can see any teacher in grades 5, 6, 7, and 8, they are all listed here. You just click them. So I'm just using Mrs. Cricken as an example. So you would click on any of the different subjects that you want to see. And you can see that they're all live links. You can highlight all of them to click on them. So we will just use for this example English. So I click on this, and as I click on this, it pops up in a PDF format so that you can see this on your iPhone as well. It says at the top, Scope and Sequence, ELA, 5th grade, Gen Ed. And then it opens up and it shows you that for English, we're going to start reading an online version of the book Holes. And it says that there's a project. So here's the book. You could click on it and the book opens. So there's that for starters. I'm going to close out of that so we can go back to what we were talking about. And there it is. And then here's the project. It tells you what the project is. It tells you that there are 2 options for the project. But then, even a little bit more, it shows you this is what we're doing for each day for each week. So for the first week of school, day A, day B, day C, day D, and day E. Now we have them listed as A, B, C, D, E instead of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because, well, the first day of school might not be a Monday. The first day of school might be Wednesday. Well, since that's the first day, that would be day A. If the second day of school is Thursday, that would be day B. If the next day of school is Friday, the third day, that would be day C, and so on. But if, theoretically, the first day of school was Monday, that would be day A. The second day would be Tuesday, that would be day B. The third day would be Wednesday, that would be day C. The fourth day would be Thursday, that would be day D, and so on. And you do that for every week. Now, this is what's nice about the scope and sequence. You can click on this, again, for any teacher, and it'll tell you, you have journal time for 10 minutes. So it tells you what the students are doing and for how long. You then are going to do spelling words, definitions, 5 times each, and use them in a sentence, and you have 20 minutes to work on that. Now you can see, by looking further into the scope and sequence, that you're going to do that for 3 days this week. Then it also tells you for that day A, because this is a column, so it tells you that this is what you're going to discuss and that you're going to start reading the book Holes on the first day of school. Now, because it's a PDF, it doesn't all fit onto one page, so it is color coordinated. So anytime that you're looking at this pink color in this first column, you're looking at the first week of school. So here's your homework for the first day. Here's your homework for the second day. Here's your homework for the third day. Here's your homework for the fourth day. Here's your homework for the 5th day. And you see this just by me moving the mouse. So homework, here's day A. Now, what was your daily journal topic? So say that you're logging in and you can't figure out what your daily journal topic is because you logged into class late. That's not a problem. You go into the scope and sequence and you say, hey, what was my daily journal? I can see it as right here. What is one thing that you were looking forward to in this school year, and why is that? Let's say you don't know what your spelling words are. Well, your spelling words are all listed right here. And for students that have an IEP, there are their spelling words. So everything that you would need for this class is all listed right there. So what happens when week 1 is over? Well, we go to week 2. And week 2 you can see is green. So anything that was week 1 was this pink color. Anything that is week 2 is green. And again, week 2. So if we're in the second week of school, the first day, that is day A. You have your journal. You have 10 minutes to write it. Well, what was your journal? What are some things that you do to try to fit in with others? How does Stanley and Zero do it? Well, Stanley and Zero are characters from the book Holes, and we would incorporate what we have read in that story to this topic. Again, you got 10 minutes to do that. We would have a 15-minute in-class spelling bee to practice using the spelling words. Here's the discussion of what we're doing in the day, and then students will read aloud Holes. Now, what was the homework for that day? Well, finish all the spelling word work that you haven't completed so far. Now, was there anything else that maybe we missed that didn't fit on this page? Well, let's look. Well, it goes over the format of the spelling words, but everything is done for the day. You see where there's pink again? Well, that's because we're in week 3. So this is how we read the scope and sequence. Now, you can do this for all subjects, for all teachers. So let's try a different teacher. Let's try Mr. Williams. So here's Mr. Williams, and we'll scroll down. And again, there's Mr. Williams' teacher schedule. There's 6B student schedule. Mr. Williams does publish all of his lessons, so he records his lessons and he publishes them, and you could click on them to see them. So here's 6B, 7B, and 8B ELA, or English Language Arts. So let's click on 6th grade this time. And again, you can go into this and say, okay, well, here are the books that we would have. Here's Wonder, the very first book that Mr. Williams had the children reading. You can see that this book is available free. We do also have copies in our school, but you could click on this, and again, you can see it's a live link that you could click on that to begin reading it. And here's part 1 of the project and part 2 of the project. And the same as before with Mrs. Cricken's class, the way we have it written up is where it shows. Now in this case, there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday written instead of day A, B, C, and D, but you would do so accordingly. So you would follow it the way it was written in the first example. Journal time. Well, what's your journal? Okay, well, what do you expect from this new school year? You have 10 minutes to write about your journal. You may share that with Mr. Williams or with the class. As a stream class, you may do that in Google Docs and share it with your teacher. Then you have spelling words. You're going to work on the definitions 5 times each and using them in a sentence. This is what you're going to do in the body of the class, and then you're going to start reading the book Wonder aloud. Now, the same as with Mrs. Cricken's class, it all did not fit onto one page. So we're going to scroll down, and you have this yellow color, and you say, okay, so what was the homework? Well, for homework, you're going to continue looking up the spelling words. Here are those spelling words, and for any child that has an IEP, this is the list for students that have an IEP. And you do that for Monday or day A, Tuesday or day B, Wednesday or day C, Thursday or day D, and Friday, day E. Once you get to this green color, well, you're now in week 2. You're still reading the book Wonder. You see that down here. Here's your daily journal topic, your discussion of what you're doing, and so on. And you can, again, do this for any teacher. So just for conversation's sake, let's click on Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter is 7th grade, Social Studies and Science. I'm sorry, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade Social Studies and Science. And you can click on any of his subject matter to see this. So let's click 8th grade Social Studies. Mr. Porter, 8th grade Social Studies. You see that he opens the year with a project. Well, here's a link for the project. Here is the breakdown of the project. These are terms that you need to know for social studies in 8th grade. And you're going to open the year doing the same thing. Here's week 1, this green color. Monday, here's your bell work. Well, you've got a bell work question that you would need to work on. Here's the content of what you're doing in the class. It says that you're going to spend about 20 minutes on this and 10 minutes on this. Mr. Porter will then open the year with discussing the project for about 20 minutes and giving students some time to work on it. Well, we didn't get a chance to see what that bell work was because it didn't all fit on that first page. And what your subject for the bell work was to write a list of all 7 continents and the 5 major oceans. We want to see if you know them on the first day of school, if you're able to write them down. Hopefully you can, but if you can't, that's fine. We're going to go over it. Then, was there any homework? Well, yeah. Mr. Porter has homework on that Monday, that first day, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And a consistent theme that you should see with the scope and sequence is you will have homework in every subject on every day. That is something that you should expect. Now, it may not be long, drawn-out questions. Math may have, for example, only 4 or 5 questions that you may have to do, but you may still have those 4 or 5 questions that you would have for reinforcement. And just to show another example, Mr. Gordon, here's 7th grade math. So let's see, does Mr. Gordon give homework? Here's week 1. There it is. Here's his first day right here, math. Second day, under homework, it says daily homework. That's the first day, there's the homework. This is the second day, there's the homework, there's the homework. This is the third day, here's the column for homework, and that's the homework. This is the 4th day, here's the column or the row for homework, there's the homework. This is the column for the 5th day, here's the row for homework, and that's the homework. So you can see consistently across the board, if you have the scope and sequence and a teacher that follows it, that you will have homework every day. It may not be a huge assignment, it may only be 4 or 5 problems, but it does exist. And again, you can see this with any of the teachers, grades 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm just using those teachers as an example. So this is how we're going to read the scope and sequence. This is how we get to it, and I'll show you one more time. You're going to go to our school website. You go to the Distance Learning tab, which is the second link from the left. You click on it, and it takes you right there. You can see all of the teachers, including teachers that are your respected arts or specials teachers, Mrs. Lippian for music. You click on her, and you can see there are her assignments. The same thing with Spanish, art, and physical education and health with Mr. Werr, Miss Andino, and Miss Lauren Scotchy. So you can do this for each of these teachers, and you get an idea of what is needed and what is expected for each child to complete at those times. I hope that this is very helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know.